94 billion kwacha in funds have been released. Cumulative sales, 322,348 bags of NPK, that represents 31%. 286,522 bags of urea, representing 27%. That's a total of 608,870 bags, representing 29%. 330,566 packs of seed, representing 31%. Cumulative dispatches, 341,016 bags of NPK, representing 33%. 344,010 bags of urea, representing 33%. That's a total of 685,026, representing 33%. Livestock, 578 goats. Madam Speaker, it is also important to note that AIP is only one social protection program among others. And the goal is to make sure that some families that are not covered by AIP are covered by other social protection programs. Those other programs include Mtukulapakomo social cash transfers, Climate Smart Public Works Program, School Feed Program, Shock Sensitive Resilience Program, and even the new NEEF loans we are now dispersing to young people without collateral. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Your Excellency, Mwanza West, Salima Central. Honorable, please. Mwanza West, Salima Central, and Katabe North.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving an opportunity to the people of Mwanza West constituency to ask the head of state a supplementary question. Madam Speaker, before I do that, let me thank His Excellency for all the projects he's implementing in our district, Mwanza. I have in mind the Mwanza Stadium, which is almost done. He has also commenced construction of prison officers' houses in Mwanza and 2 health centers that this week have just started to be constructed, apart from a lot of development projects that are taking place. Let me thank him so much for that. Madam Speaker, through you, I would like to ask the state president if he's aware. We appreciate that we received AIP fertilizers in my constituency way before rains started, more especially in the area of Govati in Tambani, but we have been challenges to access the fertilizers, the AIP fertilizers, especially on 2 issues. The first one being the issues of IDs. It happened that the people that were registering the people omitted. Maybe, say for example, instead of writing a 2, they put a Z. So when people go to buy the fertilizers, they are being denied access. So we have a lot of fertilizers, but people are unable to access it. And secondly, it's the issue of villages. Say for example, Joyce comes from village A, and on their system it shows I come from village B. Well, even if I have my ID matches with that which is in the system, I'm still being denied access to the fertilizer. So I'm not sure if the president is aware, and if he's aware, what is it that he's going to do to make sure that people access fertilizers, looking at it that it's almost time for us to apply fertilizers. And lastly, I would like to ask the head of state if his government plans for alternative cheap technologies to replace chemical fertilizers for the rural people, looking at it that maybe the cost, does he have plans so that at least you have like cheaper technologies to replace the chemical fertilizers that we are using now? Otherwise, let me thank you so much, because as I speak, people are receiving the fertilizers through NEEF, the NEEF loan fertilizers, And as I speak, like I said, in Tia Govati, people have gathered at Tia Govati headquarters receiving the NIFI fertilizers. We really appreciate that. May you continue that. And
Honourable member, more than 2 minutes. Honourable member.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
You, Salima Central.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for recognizing the people of Salima Central. A privilege to ask a president a question. Madam Speaker, firstly, I want the president to know that the people of Salima Central are very happy with his fiscal policy in this country. I am saying this because in Salima Central, we are appreciating some projects which since the dawn of multi-party, we never had them in the other governments. Like today, Salima Central can receive in a year 200 million, and even in Mulanje Southwest, they can also receive the same 200 million. This was not happening the last governments. We have projects like schools and the health centers in Salima Central, which have never been there before the coming of Chakwera. For today, I want to thank the President for his answer on AIP, and the people of Salima Central are eager waiting to receive these fertilizers. But I wanted to ask the President, as we are giving people fertilizer, that is in making sure we don't have hunger next year. But for this time around, I want the President to know that the people of Salima Central still think if ADMAC could open, we'll be able to get food now, because not everyone will get maize and foodstuffs from Dodima. Just to ask if there are any plans, Your Excellency, if ADMAC will open so that people will get food now, as we are waiting to harvest with the AIP you are giving to the people of Salima Central. Thank you so much, Mr. President. We love you.
Thank you, Salima Central. Nkata Bay North. Was it Nkata Bay North? Northwest, yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to ask a supplementary question to the President. Your Excellency, the President, are you aware that a bag of fertilizer is currently selling at 105,000, which is far higher than the 4,495 price you promised Malawians during campaign? What actions have you taken to ensure that Malawians can purchase a bag of fertilizer at a promised price of 4,495? Given this situation, can you confidently say that your government is delivering on its commitments? Thank you.
Very much, Honourable Member for Nkata Bay Northwest. Your Excellency, the President.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for the supplementary questions from Waza West, Salima Central, as well as Nkata Bay Northwest. Let the people of Mwanza West know that the problem that was identified, in which beneficiaries whose IDs were showing errors That problem is being fixed immediately after it is identified now. Also, the fact that we recognize that we need to have other technologies vis-a-vis fertilizers and maintaining the soil health that Malawi needs to have. We have approved technologies, including nano-fertilizer, which is liquid, organic fertilizer, organomineral fertilizers, and these are all cheap and effective compared to the chemical ones that most have tended to rely on. And we want you to know, people of Salima Central, that the plans to open ADMARC depots in order for maize to be readily available, ADMAC has now been given 10,000 additional tons to sell in its depots. Funding logistics has also been released for transportation because we had issues to do with some of that vis-a-vis fuel availability. And so we want you to also understand that I'm aware that a bag of fertilizer is over 105,000, and that the first year we did sell 4,900 as per our campaign promise. However, we used to see or sell 5 bags of maize or 6 bags of maize to buy 1 bag of fertilizer. Now a farmer sells 2 bags, even 2.5 bags to buy that same bag of fertilizer. Soya that was at 100 now is 1,500. Tobacco bales and sales have been improving year after year. So the equation should not be seen at just one end. We need to see both. We realize that worldwide, prices have not stayed stagnant. But we have, even for the AIP, for a number of years, maintained the 15,000 price, despite the fact that the fertilizer the price has hiked so many times. So people should look at this in perspective. We want to empower farmers, and if they used to sell 5 or 6 bags, sometimes 8 bags, to just get 1 bag of fertilizer, now they can do the opposite. Something else is working despite the propaganda. And so sometimes the letter kills, but the spirit is what gives life. Sticking to a letter of something that obviously none of us, being God, were able to foresee some of the challenges we have faced, it would be suicidal to think that things would stay the same and the prices would stay the same. But let's continue to empower our farmers and buy their products at good prices. That is empowering them to be able to access some of the things that would have been difficult to access previously. But let me also add the fact that we are intending, just like with fuel, we are intending to have fertilizer companies, in addition to what is there now, from OCP in Morocco. And this is going to, they have already done all the testing with Chiteze in terms of soil things now. And so that will also help us make the necessary adjustments in order that we may actually just for your information, when, for example, I was here in Parliament, we knew what CDF we were getting, and now it is no longer like what it used to be. And so we can't say because we wanted 29 million, then we should stick with it. We have raised it to 200 million because we know that the times have changed. And so we need to learn to tell the whole story, not just half of it. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very much, Your Excellency. Leader of the House, you're rising.
Honorable Speaker, I'm rising to announce that we are not extending time, but also to have an opportunity to congratulate the President for continually respecting the Constitution and coming to answer questions, something that was not happening in the past. If you allow me, Madam Speaker, I will say this is what it means to be a servant of the people and a leader of the people. Bravo, Mr. President. If you allow me again, because you are going to wind up, is to announce business for tomorrow. Mindful that tomorrow is a private members' day, but time permitting, business given to us, we're going to deal with the money bills that have been already secreted to the honorable members and other bills that are on the paper. Good evening, and thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Leader of the House. The Honorable Member for Mangochi Southwest, you're rising. On a point of order. What has gone out of order?
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for giving the people of Mangochi Southwest to rise on point of order. I'm looking at the order paper, and I see that there is a question. Question 5, which hasn't been responded to.
Order on my right, please. Order. There's a Central East order, please. There's a Central East order.
Madam Speaker, is it in order that when we have an order paper, without moving a motion?
Honorable members on my right, can I have order, please? Order, please. Order. Salima Southeast order, please.
On the order paper, is it in order that there is a question 5, which we prepared for? We had supplementary questions, but now it hasn't been responded. Is that in order? Because the people of Mangochi Southwest wanted to know what measures.
Honorable member for Mangochi Southeast. Honorable member for Mangochi South. Can I have order on my right? Can I have order, please?
The constitutional duty.
Honorable members on my right. Can I have order, please?
And respond to our questions.
Mangochi Southeast.
Yes, madam.
Mangochi Southeast, if you go back to our own rules,
yes.
If time is not extended, then we can't
continue. But why are we not
business.
extending time?
Well, this is an honorable member for Mangochi Southeast.
Why are we not extending time?
It's the government to extend time. I don't do the extension of
Mr.
time.
President,
So it
I'm
is their
appealing to you
business.
to
Thank
extend
you.
time. Malawi has needed to ask questions. We are appealing to you to extend time. We are.
For members, before I adjourn the House, I have few announcements to make. We have students from Mudzu Primary School. These are students coming from Lilongwe City West. They have come to observe proceedings. Students from Mudzu Primary School, please stand up so we can please stand. Most welcome to Parliament of Malawi. And they are coming from Honorable George Zulu. We also have traditional leaders from Lilongwe. I'm assuming it's the same constituency, Lilongwe City Southeast. Thank you very much, our students. You can resume your seats. Mafumu amene mwachokera ku Lilongwe imirirani tikulandireni. Agogo achokera ku Lilongwe zikomo kwambiri takulandirani. Zikomo kwambiri. Honorable members, we have now come to the end of question time to the President. Before I adjourn the House, I wish to express my sincere gratitude on behalf of all honorable members to His Excellency the President for candidly responding to all the questions which the honorable members have raised during this afternoon. We do not take this for granted. Your Excellency, that you found it worthwhile to spend this precious time with us in this august House. Your Excellency, responses have shed more light on all issues which have been raised and are matters of great interest to the people of this country. This gesture is a demonstration of Your Excellency's commitment to adhere to the Constitution of this country and also depicts Your Excellency's support to principles of transparency and accountability to this nation. I wish to inform the House that after adjournment of the House, Honorable Member for Cholotava, can you please observe order? I know you've been complaining about you taking the floor. You cannot always take the floor. We have 193 members of Parliament, and it can't just be you only being given the floor. So please, can I have, for the last time, can I have order? We have 193 members. We only had 12 questions, and most of the times we always give you space. And it's only fair sometimes to give others who don't ask questions to ask questions on the floor. Please. Thank you. I wish to inform the House that after adjournment of the House, the Speaker's procession will leave the chamber and proceed to the Presidential Lounge to see off the President when leaving the premises of Parliament. Thereafter, the President, in the company of the First Deputy Speaker and the Leader of the House, will escort the President to the Presidential Lounge. Finally, honorable members will leave the chamber, marking the end of today's sitting. Please let us adhere to this procedure to ensure that there is order and decorum when leaving this chamber. Honorable, I would also like to appeal to the journalists to keep away from the President's presidential entourage to avoid distracting the President's entourage. I now adjourn the House to tomorrow, Thursday, 19 December, 9:30 a.m. House adjourned.
That was the State President, His Excellency Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera, answering questions here at Parliament from the members of the Assembly. This has been his 5th appearance in the House for question time. And looking at the order paper today, as we indicated that questions do appear and supplementary questions do follow those original questions as they appear on the order paper. 5 questions really appeared on the order paper, and with the time on government side, because the president is only expected to be there for an hour and 30 minutes, the president managed to respond to 4 questions out of the 5 that appeared on the order paper. So the first question came from Mulanje Southwest, that's from Honorable Dr. George Chaponda. And his question was bordering on economic deterioration and IMF program. Actually, it was to do with fiscal discipline. 3 supplementary questions followed that, and this came from Cholo Central, Mulanje Southwest, as well as Zomba Changalume. The second question came from Kasungu North, that's Honorable Mike Bango. He sought